Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is July 12th. Paul Skenes is starting the All-Star game and the Yankees. Yikes. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? It is Friday. We are less than a week from the All-Star game. The All-Star game being Tuesday, the Home Run Derby on Monday. So very excited for that. We got one more series here before the break, and then it becomes a dog days of summer as we push into the postseason chase, and then eventually the postseason will begin in October. We're over the hump of the season. We've gone over this before, We're on the slide. We're starting to get a bigger picture on the teams who could be fighting for some postseason, who's going to be selling at the deadline. That's coming up, and that's going to be a major talking point as well. So a lot going on right now, especially, of course, in the world of baseball. Teams are getting swept. Teams are slumping hard. So we got to see what exactly is going on with some of these teams and who is on the high and who is on the low. So with that being said, let's dive into our series recap. All right, to lead things off, we have to go back to the weekend set here. Cardinals and Nationals, they played three. They played a fourth on Monday. Cardinals had a 2-1 series advantage, and they made it 3-1 as they took care of business, beating the Nationals 6-0 and taking 3 of 4 from them. Meanwhile, the Mets and Pirates were finishing up a 4-game set. The Mets had a 2-1 series advantage, but the Pirates shut them down in the Monday game 8-2 Pittsburgh, as the two teams split the 4-game set, each 2 apiece. But now on to the new series, 15 new series here. Cubs and the Oilers, and this one is shocking. The Cubs, through 3 games, held Baltimore to 2 runs and shut them out twice. Cubs win it 9-2, 4-0, and 8-0. They sweep Baltimore. Boogity boogity, that is a shocker for sure. As we head now to Boston for Oakland and the Red Sox. The Red Sox, through the first 2 innings, led 11-2. Oakland kind of made it a close one, but the Red Sox hold on, win it 12-9. Oakland bounced back, 1-1, 5-2, but then the Red Sox shut them out for the rematch, winning it 7-0. as Boston takes 2 of 3 from the Oakland Athletics. Yankees and Rays, what a series, what a time it is to not be a Yankees fan. The Rays take the first game 5-3. Yankees bounce back 2-1. During the road match, it would go Tampa's way 5-4. It would end on a crazy catch/non-catch, Jesus, that I'm wondering how Yankees fans are seeing it and taking it in this morning, because I'll be honest with you, I think it might have been dropped, but that's just me. Rays take 2 of 3 there. Guardians and Tigers. This is a big one for a lot of teams that isn't Cleveland, because the Tigers actually showed up in this series for the 4 games. They took the opener 1-0. Then the Guardians brought this second game into extras in the 10th inning. They scored 2 runs, outlast Tigers, win it 9-8. But those last 2 games, it was all Detroit. 5-4 Tigers, 10-1 Tigers. Detroit takes 3 of 4 from Cleveland, and that helps out some other teams, specifically the Twins and the White Sox, who play 3 games right after. The first game in 11 innings, the Twins take it 8-6. They got to fight a little bit longer than usual. Then we had a doubleheader. White Sox won the first game 3-1. Twins won the second game 3-2. And Minnesota takes 2 of 3 from the White Sox and gets a game back on the Guardians. Rangers and Angels. It's Texas taking the first 2 games of this set, 9-4 and then 5-4. Angels, though, will not get swept. They win the last game 7-2. Texas, though, takes 2 of 3. Marlins and Astros. You have a team who's hot, who's trying to compete. You have a team who's not hot, is not competing, and you get exactly what you think in this series. Astros sweep the Marlins 4-3, 9-1, and 6-3 are the final scores there. Houston looking good right now. Seattle, watch out. Dodgers and Phillies. This was a statement series from the Phillies. They host the Dodgers. These two teams potentially clashing in an NLCS maybe later on this year. Phillies shut down the Dodgers 10-1 in the first game, 4-3 in the second game, and 5-1 in the third game. The Phillies sweep the Dodgers. Super impressive stuff from the Phillies. Are they the team to beat right now this year? Is it their time for a World Series ring? Phillies, wow, good stuff there. Nationals and Mets, these teams fighting for third place in the NL East. No longer the case as the Mets sweep the Nationals. They are hot and they are looking very good. How good? They may or may not have a wild card seed right now. Mets win it 7-5, 6-2, and 7-0. Brennan Nimmo in that second game, he hit a home run in now 3 straight games. No longer the case. I don't believe he hit one on the series finale, but Nimmo's hot. The Mets are hotter, and they are right now in a postseason spot. Royals and Cardinals played 2 on one day. It was a doubleheader for a 2-game set. And the Royals took both of these games in St. Louis. They beat the Cardinals 6-4 and 8-5. And that's big for them because, like I said, the Guardians lost 2 games. The Twins did win 2, so they get a game on the Guardians, just not the Twins. Pirates and Brewers now. Pirates take the first game 12-2, put up 10 extra runs over the Brewers. The Brewers respond in the second game by shutting them out and going 9-0 there. For the third match, it was a Paul Skenes masterclass. 7 innings of no-hit baseball before he was taken out. That sparked some controversy as well. Pirates, though, win it 1-0 and take 2 of 3 from the Brewers. Rockies and Reds played 4. Meet Rece Hinds. This guy makes his MLB debut in the first game of this series and hits a home run in this series. And he didn't stop there throughout the first 2 games here, the first 2 games of his career. He had 5 extra base hits. No other player has ever done that. The Reds take 3 of 4 from the Rockies, winning it 6-0. 12-6. The Rockies then win 6-5 in the third game. Reds shut him down in the fourth game 8-1 and take the 3 of 4. Braves and D-backs now for 4. This first game, they went to the 11th because of a third straight blown save for Paul Skenes here, give or take. 5-4 Braves. It is looking like a tough series for D-backs because they then win again 6-2. But the D-backs respond 7-5 and 1-0. They split the 4-game set 2 apiece there. Mariners and Padres. Astros got a sweep. Mariners need to do well against the Padres in San Diego, and they do just that. 8-3 Seattle in the first game, then 2-0 Seattle. They sweep the 2-game set against the Padres, and big stuff there from the Mariners. They only lose half a game of the Astros. Blue Jays and Giants. Well, we are finishing series here. 4-3 Giants in the first game. A walk-off wild pitch from Trevor Richards. The only walk-off of the week, I'm pretty sure, was on a wild pitch. That's crazy, but the Blue Jays bounced back and answered. They beat the Giants 10-6 and then 5-3 to take 2 of 3 from the Giants and win the series. Alright, now for your game of the week here, we're bringing you to Arizona. That first of 4 between the Braves and the Diamondbacks. Top of the first, Austin Riley gets things started. His 12th home run of the year. A solo shot makes it 1-0. And it would stay 1-0 until the bottom of the 6th. The D-backs put up 3. A Corbin Carroll single, a bases-loaded walk to Christian Walker, and then a sac fly to Lourdes Gurriel. Gave the D-backs the lead 3-1 there. Then we head to the top of the 9th, down to their final out. Sewell looking for the save, does not find it. Instead, gets greeted by Sean Murphy. Hits the game-tying 2-run home run, his 5th home run of the year. That makes it 3-3, and that means we need extra innings. To the 10th we go. The Braves get a run on a sac fly from Ozzie Albies, so the D-backs respond with a sac fly from Geraldo Perdomo, which brings us to the 11th. Marcell Ozuna gets the sac fly, and this time the D-backs cannot answer and respond. The Braves take the win, beat them 5-4 in 11 innings here. I believe at the time of this game, the D-backs, this loss put them back under 500. They were 45-45 entering the game. And Seawold, in the D-backs' last 9, they were 6-3, and the 3 losses were all because of blown saves from Paul Skenes. So not great there. He did get the saves on Wednesday and Thursday, though, the 2 games that the D-backs did win. They're sitting at 47-47 at 500. But as mentioned, 5-4, game of the week. All right, on to the baseball news from the week here. As mentioned, Monday is the Home Run Derby. Last Monday's episode, we had 4 people who were competing, that being Gunnar Henderson, Alec Boehm, Pete Alonso, and then a little late night Bobby Witt Jr. As well. Since then, this week, we have gotten the other 4. So joining those 4, Jose Ramirez is back in a home run derby. Adolis Garcia is back in the home run derby and representing Texas, as I had mentioned and kind of believed myself into thinking already. Marcell Ozuna from the Braves is going to be part of the home run derby, as well as Teoscar Hernandez from the Dodgers. I believe that's his first home run derby. The powering, hitting outfield has had a great year with the Dodgers, signed that 1-year deal. And that's your field. That's your 8 guys. So on Monday, on Monday's episode, I'll probably make my predictions and who I want to see well and who I wouldn't. But the home run derby will consist of Jose Ramirez, Ozuna, Garcia, Hernandez, Alonso, Boehm, Henderson, and Witt. A lot of fun narratives could be created from this. So very exciting to see exactly what's going to be the outcome and the case going forward in this year's home run derby. So really exciting stuff there. We've had a couple of switches, and by switches I mean replacements, whether it's be injury or for whatever reasons. We have the first list here of guys who have been replaced, some due to injury and some not. Hunter Green is now an All-Star. He's replacing Tyler Glass now. Jordan Westberg is now an All-Star. He replaces Rafael Devers. Anthony Santander is now an All-Star. He replaces Kyle Tucker. And then Willie Castro is now an All-Star. He's replacing Jose Altuve. And Marcus Semien has gone from the reserves to the starter. He now will start at second base for the AL. And those are the 4 switches that have happened so far. The 4 All-Star game reserves no longer that are now being replaced. There may be a couple more this week. Who knows? But that's what we have for now. And one other thing happened that was very exciting in terms of the All-Star news. It happened pretty much just before I got underway here today. Paul Skenes is now the NL starter for the NL All-Stars. Like that's crazy, because this guy's having a year of his life. Like, how can things not get better for Paul Skenes? Yesterday, he pitched 7 innings of no-hit baseball. People were upset with the Pirates manager because of taking him out during a no-hitter. But he was at 99 pitches. He, according to him, was tired and all this other stuff. But it's still crazy. Because of that start yesterday, he became the 4th pitcher in MLB history to have multiple games in a season where he pitched 0 hits and 10 strikeouts, joining guys like Nolan Ryan, Justin Verlander, and Max Scherzer. So pretty intense history right there for Paul Skenes already in only 11 games of his career. He's only pitched in 11 games. He's 6-0 during those games. It's the fewest games by an All-Star at the time of the game he was on the roster for. So no other player in MLB history has played 11 games and then been on an all-star roster, let alone be starting it for the NL team. That is absolutely crazy to me. This is the guy to watch. His career just got started. Every year you gotta go see a Pirates game, whether it be in person, on the television, and specifically a Paul Skenes game. specifically Paul Skenes' game, you have to see in person on the television. You got to watch this guy. Every start the Pirates have with him is something phenomenal. An absolute joy to watch right now. Every time I know he's pitching and I have time to tune in, I'm throwing on the Pirates game because that's the game to watch. He is the pitcher to watch right now, the player to watch. In my mind, he might be the most exciting player to watch, and that's over guys like Acuna, Tatis, Soto even. You know, we had that kind of debate a few years ago of who's more exciting, Acuna, Soto, etc. I would think right now Paul Skenes, you know, over Ellie De La Cruz even now. Like, he is a fun start to watch, and he's making some history in only 11 games of his career. Is pretty crazy. So I cannot wait to see him on Tuesday and to see the guy shove it up for an inning or two. Good luck, AL hitters, because that is going to be tough for anyone, to say the least. Moving past the All-Star talk and moving past, into actual baseball stuff here, let's talk about these New York Yankees for a second here. In their last 23 games, they are 6-17. They have lost 17 games out of 23, only winning 6. Their last 8 series they've lost 7 of them and tied in 1 of them. Basically, in the last, 3 weeks or so, they've been the worst team in baseball. That is worse than the White Sox, worse than the A's, the Rockies. Pick a team, the Yankees have been the worst. It's honestly, and I mean this genuinely, it's honestly so impressive how they're only 2 games back of Baltimore and how, they're still such a good team off of record-wise because of how good they've been April, May, June. But this, beginning of June, but from the end of June to now into July, they have been really, really bad. Just taking a look at some of the Yankees offense numbers from the past week. So just looking at the last 7 games here, the best batter average-wise is Oswaldo Cabrera, and he only had 7 at-bats. He's 4 for 7. And that's pretty much it. Their best home run hitter this past week was the rookie Ben Rece, who had 4, and that's because he had a 3-homer day against the Red Sox. No other hitter has a home run, or has more than 2 home runs. Austin Wells has 1, Verdugo has 1, and Soto has 1. So the past week, they've hit 7 home runs, Ben Rece with 4 of them, and then Soto, Verdugo, and Wells. Judge hasn't had a home run in 8 games. He's 4 for 20. He's been awful. Trent Grisham, 4 for 18. Bad. Soto, 5 for 20. Sure, he's been okay. Austin Wells, 2 for 11. 4 for 20. Verdugo, I think I mentioned that one already. Yeah, it's a rough go at things right now if you are a Yankees fan. I mean, Ben Rece has 11 RBIs this week. Nobody else has more than 3. Strikeout numbers, Ben Rece has 9 strikeouts, so he leads the team in home runs and RBIs this past week, but he also leads it in strikeouts. Aaron Judge with 7 right after him. Like, the offense has completely vanished, and if you think, at least you have pitching, no, they don't, because the pitching's been worse. Taking a look at the last 2, potentially 3 starts for some of these guys here. Luis Hill in his last 2 starts, a 4.22 ERA. He's 0-2. He's given up 2 home runs. Garrett Cole in his last 2 starts is 4.82 ERA. In 9 1/3 innings, he's given up 5 earned runs. And those are the best 2. Nestor Cortez in his last 3 starts, a 5.52. He's 0-2 in those starts. 14 2/3 innings, 9 earned runs given up. Marcus Stroman in his last 3 starts, 9 earned runs given up. Carlos Rodon in his last 2 starts, 7 earned runs. His ERA is the most, 6.75. And I mean, go through the bullpen as well. Clay Holmes, this is the guy who's supposed to be closing games for you. In his last 4 appearances, he has a 6.23 ERA. He's given up 3 runs in 4 appearances. That's not good. Other guys here, Michael Tonkin, he's given up 3 runs in his last couple of starts, his last couple of innings. So it's a really tough go at things right now for the Yankees. And, I mean, you got to kind of wonder, where's this team heading right now? Like, did they reach the peak? Is it over? Are they just gonna fall out of the postseason picture right now over the next little bit? I find that super interesting in the position where they've been at all season long. We were talking about Judge leading the way in this AL MVP race, Soto right behind him. You know, the Yankees are the team to beat in the AL East. No, it's still Baltimore, unfortunately. They got swept by the Reds. They lost 2 of 3 to both the Red Sox and the Rays. That's how they started their July. They split the series against the Blue Jays. They got swept by the Subway Series against the Mets. They lost 2 of 3 from the Braves. They lost 2 of 3 from Baltimore. Lost 2 of 3 from the Red Sox again. Their last series win was taking 3 of 4 from the Royals, who, by the way, was also struggling at the time. It's been a really tough go at things, and they need a hard refresh. They finish the break in Baltimore. They have 3 games in Baltimore. It's so important for the Yankees to at least get 2 of those games to win this series, to end the drought here of series with a win. They need to get this series against Baltimore. It's super important. But I don't think it's the case, and I think they need a hard refresh over the break here, because then they get another 4 versus Tampa. They just lost 2 of 3. They have the 4 versus Tampa, and then they have the other half of the Subway Series against the Mets before getting Boston again, and then they end July with the Phillies and how good they've been. So right now the Yankees are in a bit of a slump. They got to work their way through it here. This series against Baltimore is going to be very telling in what could be the rest of the Yankees season here. So they got to figure it out, figure out the starting pitching, figure out everything. It's been bad. They got their own stuff to work through right now, to say the very least. All right, for the other baseball news from the past week here, the Reds were treated to a new face, and his name is Rece Hinds. Made his MLB debut Monday, had his first 4 games here with the Rockies. He's the first player ever in MLB history with 5 extra base hits in his first 2 games of his career. He had a couple of home runs, and he's off to a hot start, and maybe this will elevate the Reds a little bit, you know? Last year we saw that when Ellie came up, that kind of changed the complexity of their season. This year it could be Rece Hinds. You know, Nolan Marte is back from his suspension. Tyler Stevenson's fun. India's been having a great season. Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo. When the Reds are right, I think they're a very young and fun team, and you know, things may be tough right now in the NL Central, but we still have that second half of the season to go, and if the Reds click in at the right moments, I think they could be a fun team to watch in a postseason series, and Rece Hinds is definitely making his impact known right out of the gate here. He will be around and trying to help those Reds, so yeah. Crazy. 5 extra base hits in his first 2 games. Those 2 home runs were long too. So good stuff there from Rece Hinds. In other news, Bobby Miller has been optioned by the Dodgers. We've seen this before with the Dodgers this year. They optioned James Outman, and he has returned since. Bobby Miller's turn. The 25-year-old has struggled in 7 starts this year. He has a 1-2 record and an 8.07 ERA. Very yikes. In 29 innings, he's given up 26 runs. Extreme yikes. He only has 27 strikeouts as well, giving up 7 home runs. It's been a very rough go of a year so far for Bobby Miller. To be honest, I didn't actually know how he was doing until I saw that he's optioned and I actually pulled out his numbers. And I was like, oh, wow, this is not good. And to be honest with you, I find it super impressive how the Dodgers have been able to maintain first, how they've been able to, you know, have the seasons they've had. Yes, they have some great talent. Their rotation right now, listed by Fangraphs, James Paxton, Justin Werblitsky, Gavin Stone, and Landon Knox. I only know James Paxton and Gavin Stone really well. Bobby Miller leaving this rotation. Look at the ILs for the pitchers. Walker Buehler, Tyler Glasnow, Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw, Dustin May, Emmett Sheehan, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That's 7 guys. And, oh, by the way, Shohei Ohtani technically is 8 because although he's batting, he's not pitching. And that's only their starters. The bullpen, Brusdar Graterol, Michael Grove, Joe Kelly, Ryan Brazier, and then obviously guys like Mookie Betts, Jason Hayward, and Max Muncy. I mean, these guys have been hurt a lot, and yet they're still finding ways. Yes, you have Shohei leading off, and Will Smith, and Freeman, and Teoscar's having a good year. Andy Pajas has been great. Rojas, okay. Outman's return. Like it's crazy how the Dodgers have been managing as well as they have, considering all of these odds. I mean, Evan Phillips and Daniel Hudson in the back end of that bullpen with Blake Trinan, that's a nice little core that they've got, Alex Vesia has been pretty good. So, I mean, the Dodgers are still maintaining things, but you have to wonder with how much they're going to be able to last. They need some of these guys to get healthy again. Obviously, I don't think some of them are too serious. I expect Glasnow to come back when he's able to come off the IL. Yamamoto hopefully is getting close. I'm not too sure. But yeah, really tough go at things for some of these guys. So it's been yikes for the Dodgers right now with that starting pitching. I mean, James Paxton right now is the ace of the staff. That can't be accurate. I maybe Gavin Stone. I don't know. Dodgers fans, let me know how you guys are feeling about your rotation, because as an outsider, it is it's looking pretty. Yeah, Ryan Yarbrough started is scheduled to start on Sunday, so I guess they're bringing him back. Tough go at things here. It's nice to have the All-Star game where it is. You only have to get through this series here against the Tigers, and then shape up. Last bit of news here really quickly to mention, and I say really quickly because I do not want to talk about it for long, but it is important in terms of Major League Baseball. It's gone around. Wander Franco, the Rays at one point top prospect, superstar shortstop, supposed to come on as the next big sensation, got handed out a big bag of money from Tampa Bay, and then he talks to some children, and it's official. Over the week here, he has been officially charged with sexual abuse and sexual exploitation against a minor, and that will be it. He will face his time in prison, and I believe, however many years. I believe it's 4 or 5-ish. I didn't keep up on it too much, to be honest with you, because I'm over it. A guy with so much talent and so much to offer to the game decides to throw it away, and that's the end of the story there. So Wander Franco officially done, and will go down as a what if of baseball, and never be seen again on a major league field, and that's the end of it. So Wander Franco, goodbye forever. Okay, now, so injury updates from the week here. One guy we've mentioned already twice, Tyler Glasnow. Of course, we mentioned him with the All-Star being replaced by Hunter Green, and we mentioned him here with Bob Miller being optioned, how he's not an option right now. He lands on the IL with a back issue, so stuff there. Cody Bellinger from your Cubs lands on the IL, a fractured finger. He was taken out of the game after the hit by pitch and has now been announced on the IL. And then Zach Wheeler, another name to mention here, he exited his start against the Dodgers, lower back tightness. So, stuff to deal with there. We'll have to see how Philly can handle it, if he ends up on the IL or not. I think they're going to not have him on the IL because you have pretty much a week off before he would need to start anytime soon. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with him potentially for the All-Star game even. But, yeah, things to mention there. That is your injury update. As we look now into our outstanding performances from the week here. A nice list here, starting off with Cincinnati Red Zone, Andrew Abbott. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. Jose Quintana from your Mets. 7 innings pitched, a hit, no earned runs, a walk, and 5 Ks. Blake Snell is back and healthy. It's his first start in over a month, and it was good. 5 innings pitched, a hit, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 13 Ks. Yusei Kikuchi, though, was a lot better that day, although the Jays did lose. 7 1/3 innings pitched from Kikuchi, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, but how about 13 strikeouts, a new career best for Yusei Kikuchi. Shota Eminaga against Baltimore, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, no earned earned runs, a walk, and 6 Ks. Part of that Cubs sweep. Framber Valdez, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 10 strikeouts. His most strikeouts he's had all season. Tobias Myers from your Brewers, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. Helps shut out the Pirates. Hunter Green, all-star, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 10 Ks for him. David Peterson, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Aaron Nola against the Dodgers, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Justin Steele, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Brandon Pfaadt, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend, the NL starter, Paul Skenes, 7 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, a walk, and 11 Ks. Outstanding stuff from Mr. Paul Skenes and the rest of the guys as well on this list. As we now take a look into our stat leaderboard for the week here, the update of the best. Still in the league in average is Steven Kwan. It's gone down a couple ticks, 361 now. Leading the league in hits, no longer Luis Arias. It is Bobby Witt Jr., 122 hits for the Royal Man himself. Home runs and RBIs, it is still Aaron Judge, but as mentioned this week, he didn't have anything to contribute, so he's still at 32 home runs and still at 83 RBIs. Those two numbers did not change. Gunnar Henderson still in the league in runs, got a couple more, he's at 77. Soto walked 4 times this week, so he still leads the league there, now it's 79. Eddie De La Cruz still with stolen bases at 45, and then OPS, it is still Aaron Judge, but it jumped down a lot. It is now at 1.086. It was like at 1.126, and now it's gone to 1.086. So definitely losing some points there. For pitchers, Chris Sale now leads the league in wins. He stands alone with 12. Who would have thought that entering the season? Seth Lugo still leading the league in ERA at 2.21. Garrett Crochet still leading the league in strikeouts at 146. And then Ryan Helsley did not get a save this week, but he still leads the league with 31 saves on the year. So good stuff overall. And that is your stat leaderboard. Now taking a look at the upcoming series, the last series before the All-Star break here. And we've got some big series, starting it off with the biggest, potentially, the Yankees in Baltimore taking on the O's. Circle that one, watch some of those games because that is a series worth watching. Guardians in Tampa taking on the Rays. Royals at Red Sox. That's a huge series in my mind for that third wildcard seed. Kansas City needs to come into Boston and sweep them and get back what is rightfully theirs, and that is a wild card position. The Dodgers, without any starting pitching, taking on the Tigers. Pirates at White Sox. Rangers at Astros. The Battle of Texas. You'll love to see that one. Circle that one. That could be fun. Mariners at Angels. A's at Phillies. Rockies at Mets. Marlins at Reds. So a good way for the Reds to kind of keep it up with Rece Hinds and try to battle into a postseason potentially. Nationals at Brewers. Cubs at Cardinals. Braves at Padres. I think that one's kind of fun to watch. Blue Jays and D-backs. Twins and Giants is how you round off the week here and round off the end to the first half of the season. So definitely some good games to keep your eyes out for. As we look at the playoff predictor, if the postseason ended today, who is in it and who is winning it all? Starting with the AL, of course, the 6-seeded Boston Red Sox taking on the 3-seed Seattle Mariners. Seattle wins that. Minnesota in the 5 versus the Yankees in the 4. The Yankees are 0-7-1 in their last 8 series. Of course, they're not winning this one. Twins take it. We have Mariners in Baltimore taking on the O's, Twins and Guardians for a fun ALDS, and it's the wild card teams itself, Seattle and Minnesota with the upsets over Baltimore and Cleveland. Twins and Mariners make up your ALCS, and it's your Minnesota Twins heading to the World Series beating up on the Seattle Mariners. For the National League side, hello New York, and I'm not talking about the Yankees, the Mets in the 6th seed for the first time. They'll be in a playoff playoff predictor here. They're taking on the Brewers, and they're beating the Brewers in the wild card series here. They're hot. Cardinals and Braves on the other end. Braves beat the Cardinals. So the NLDS matchups, Mets and Dodgers, Braves and Phillies. The Dodgers don't have any starting pitching. Give me the Mets. Braves and Phillies. Obviously, it's the Phillies. That means we have an NLCS matchup between the 6-seeded Mets and the 1-seeded Phillies. And don't you just love a good upset? The Mets beat the Phillies. So for the World Series, we have the 6-seeded Mets and the 5-seeded Twins facing off. And the Mets magic runs out at the end. The Twins would be your 2024 World Series champions if the postseason started today. That sure was a fun one and a fun episode here as we round things off. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us today. Thank you everybody so much for listening. One more series, and then we have the All-Star game and break on Monday. Monday I'll be talking about the All-Stars once more, going through the home run derby picks, of course, looking at the series that we just had. Friday's episode next week, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. Obviously talking about the home run derby results and the All-Star game, but we're going to have some more information to talk about. We got to find something to fill the gap, so maybe I'll mention what I have in store Monday. I don't know what I have in store right now, but just things to think about. Thank you everybody so much, and I will see you on Monday.